everyone, welcome back to the Here's the Thing podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. I'm Liam, as you know by now, the 50 people. Cooper.
Yo,
This is Cooper.
I'm Cooper. Nice to
What's
meet
your
you.
name? What's your name again? Sorry?
Javier.
Interesting. Okay.
But I go by Cooper on the internet.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like Kevin Abstract, whose real name is Ian, not Kevin.
Yeah.
Or what's another Jacksepticeye, whose real name is Sean, and not Jack.
Yeah. He's actually Spanish. I don't know if you guys know this.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they can tell.
Yeah, okay, bro.
I'm pretty sure they can tell. Alrighty,
Interesting.
let's jump into it. How has your week been since the last time we recorded?
What have we done? What
Well,
have we done?
We went to watch
I
a
meant
movie.
that literally. What have we done?
On Thursday, we went to watch.
This movie.
We haven't done
What?
the thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, good thing you didn't say what it was then. All right.
Alrighty.
But it's about this movie, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah. Alright. Well,
We have to do. I'm gonna count us down. Okay. Ready?
well, let me just segue into it.
Segue.
Welcome everybody
Mm-hmm.
to this episode of the podcast, where we are going to be discussing something, and you know, that thing, that something is.
That thing is.
And
So
so
in 3, 2, 1.
Here's the thing about How to Train Your Dragon.
the live action.
The live
Remake.
action remake.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
that's fine. We're keeping that. That was perfect.
Anyways,
actually.
we went to watch How to Train Your Dragon on Thursday. We
Mhm.
saw it opening night in IMAX. $53 a ticket.
Ah.
Because we're balling like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Not anymore. Can I just say quickly about IMAX? I thought it was gonna change my life.
Yeah, I was disappointed. It was like
It was
going
the
to
same
Hoyts.
thing. I
It
went and
was
watched
Hoyts.
the movie again, like 2 days after, maybe even the day after. I don't know. And it was the same. Like it didn't. I didn't see any
Yeah.
difference from IMAX to normal.
Don't waste your money on IMAX.
Yeah, and maybe we just had a bad experience. Maybe other movies are normal.
But it annoys me because it was advertised as filmed for IMAX.
Yeah, like
So
I feel like Dune would be hectic in IMAX.
I think Dune would just be hectic on a big screen.
Yeah, I guess.
Like when I watched Dune, it was on a massive screen. What cinema did I watch? It was in London.
You
I
watched Dune 1 on a plane.
I did watch Dune 1 on
Which
the
is
plane.
kind
I didn't
of-
like it very much.
Yeah.
Dune 2 I watched in London.
So that would be cool.
I'm trying to remember what the cinema name was. I think it was called like
In it.
Regal.
In it theatre.
It was called like Regal Theatres or something. I don't know. It was
Sounds
in
about
England
right.
because I've been to England.
He's English.
I'm
You
Spanish.
have English in you, don't you?
Yeah.
You have. He's got English and about 55 self-proclaimed other things.
The DNA test will reveal all.
Mm.
Alrighty, so
We'll
we
see.
saw How to Train Your
We'll
Dragon,
see about that.
which
Yeah.
we'll get into in a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had dinner,
We did have
and
enough.
then we went home.
We went home.
And then
Had a
Friday,
really
what did we
nice-
do on Friday? I worked all day on Friday.
I had work all day.
And then went home.
Yep.
Tuesday, not Tuesday, not Tuesday, Saturday.
What are we doing Saturday? Did we
go to your house on Saturday?
No. It was on Sunday because that was my little brother had school.
School.
Yeah, no. I brought a bunch of our friends to my house, and it was haps. It was very fun. My dad.
Extremely fun.
My dad talked to them more than I did to my
Yeah.
friends. But it was good. It was fun.
Your dog's really fun to
Yeah,
play with.
yeah. He was trying to. So obviously, we watched How to Train Your Dragon. Cooper was trying to like alpha my dog.
I
Like
didn't
he
try.
kept like being like, "Arr," and then
Succeeded.
yeah. Well,
No, don't say I was doing. You have to give them context that that's what your family does to your dog.
yeah, but like where
You all get in his face. They do this. They do this. They crouch down. They go.
and then my dog would
And they
like,
stare at the floor. They stare. They don't
Yeah.
even look at the dog. They look at the floor and they
Yeah.
growl until the dog just.
my dog would then
collapses.
he'd put his head where our head are, and then he would just collapse on the ground and let
Yeah.
us.
And,
And
he
then
did
after
it
that-
to me a couple times.
Yeah, he does. He's
a good boy.
knows.
He
knows.
listens.
He does listen. Caesar, my other dog, he just
He also
fucking shit.
bit me, but not like hardly.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
we
you know.
were playing, and he just. Even Caesar was doing that.
Yeah,
Because I was annoying Caesar on purpose, and then he would just.
yeah.
Bite
But-
my arm.
well, they do that, but I've
Not
never,
hard,
I've never
not
gone a
hard
bit
at all.
hard. No.
They know that they're playing. They're just trying to be like. Stop it.
Yeah, my dog stepped in dog shit today.
Which one?
Caesar. And then he walked inside of the house. So I had to spend like fucking 30 minutes just retracing all of his steps and cleaning everything up.
Wow.
It wasn't fun.
We had pizza at your
Yes, we did.
House?
We had pizza.
I
And,
converted his siblings into the right.
converted
way of
is a
eating
strong.
pizza?
Converted is a strong word. I would say you tried to convert them, but they're still on the bright side, which is
No, because they both said they liked it.
yeah. That doesn't mean that they will continue to have. By the way, we haven't even said sauce on pizza.
Tomato sauce on specific pizzas.
I
I
think
wouldn't
that's
put it on a
heresy.
pizza that already has barbecue
I just
sauce
think
on
that's
it.
wrong. I think it's a war
That's
crime.
weird. But on like a ham and cheese or a margarita,
No,
or
because
a
it already has
Hawaiian.
sauce.
it has
That's
paste.
like having. That's like having.
It has paste.
It's like having pasta and then putting tomato sauce on the.
I used to
You
do that
probably
with my
fucking do
spaghetti
that.
bolognese.
See, that's
'Cause
insane.
I wanted more flavor. So
No,
I
that's not
put
flavor.
tomato
That's
sauce.
fucking. That's disgusting.
It's not.
That's
my
disgusting.
little. I have watched my little. Do you know what Cruskets are?
What the fuck is a crusket?
Do you in the audience? Do you guys know what Cruskets are? No. Do you know what a
English.
Crusket is? All right. Someone
English.
knows what a Crusket is.
English.
It's like a wafer kind of thing made out of wheat. It's hard to explain. How do you? Okay, my little brother. I've seen him eat toast with tomato sauce.
See, he deserves the death penalty.
See, that's crazy.
What, the death penalty or the toast?
No, the toast.
Yeah.
With tomato
yeah,
sauce.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I've also watched him eat a Crusket with tomato sauce,
I mean,
which would disgust you more if you knew what a Crusket
yeah, but
was.
but that's as bad as having tomato sauce on pasta.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's really not.
Genuinely,
It's
is.
really not.
I think I would vomit if I actually tried it.
You wouldn't.
I haven't tried
so
on
dramatic
it.
right
No,
now.
I'm not
You're
being
actually a
dramatic. I am
child.
being so serious. Like
You're actually a
I
child.
tried tomato sauce on pizza at his birthday.
I'm gonna put tomato
he's
sauce on
18.
your dad's paella.
Yeah, say it again.
Paella.
Yeah, there you go. And it would taste bad.
You reckon?
It would, yeah. There's a saffron.
So you're telling me you never had rice with tomato sauce?
No. You have.
Don't give me that look.
You have-
You guys never had rice with tomato sauce?
Yeah. So this
Mashed potatoes.
supposedly Spanish person.
See, she's had it with tomato. She
Ah,
knows mashed potatoes
disgusting,
with tomato sauce
disgusting.
is elite. It's so good. It's so good. And like party pies.
That's good.
Yeah, that's normal.
You're not allowed to speak.
No, he gets 5 words an episode.
Well, you just used 2 of them.
2 of them. You got 3.
What I would do
cuts.
instead of putting the tomato sauce on the top, I'd plug it in and like fill the inside with it. So when I bit into the party pie,
I think I've done that before. I think
sushi
I've
with
done that
tomato
before.
sauce.
No.
No, I'm joking.
Soy
That
sauce.
that would be too far.
That's too
Any
far.
seafood with tomato sauce.
Look,
is a
tomato
bit,
sauce
like,
belongs on chips, and that's it.
just chips.
Just chips. And like
Not
party
nuggets.
pies. Yeah, you can have it with nuggets.
Yeah, you can have nuggets.
But not fucking pasta. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well I don't have it on pasta. I have it on
Yeah, but
pizza.
you just said you used to. On your spaghetti
When
bolognese.
I was
On
no,
my
that was
spaghetti
in the bolognese, not on the spaghetti.
What? What the fuck did you just say? What does that even mean?
It was on the bolognese, like the mince. Like mixed it into the mince to give it more flavor.
I don't want to talk
In
about
the
this anymore.
sauce.
This is gonna make me angry.
It's fake Spanish.
Pasta isn't even Spanish.
Same shit.
Idiot.
European.
Okay, so all European countries are the same now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna bring up a new drink has released, Solo Energy. We haven't tried it yet.
I didn't even know about this.
We should.
Well, we also haven't tried the Pepsi Electric.
Yeah, so we need to do a big Cooper and Liam mukbang. If you
Yes.
don't, why would you know?
You wouldn't know.
We do. This guy's like fucking
He likes to
Convulsing.
eat. He likes eating.
So
Except
we-
he doesn't.
do mukbangs.
We
or
do.
we used to.
Well, for our work, we
Yeah.
would send
To entertain
videos of us eating to our work group
and
chat.
everyone really enjoyed it.
Everyone did it.
We haven't done one in a very long time.
We did
so
one
I'm
about the
thinking-
Grimace Shake.
Grimace Shake was first.
Asahi beer.
Asahi beer, and then
Acai. Yeah, Our mate's Acai
Acai.
joint. Yeah.
So number 4, I reckon we do a big one. Solo Energy, Pepsi Electric, and the new Krispy Kreme flavored Maxi Bonds.
Okay.
The original glazed donut flavored Maxi Bonds.
Okay. What's a Maximon again? It's the ice cream, right?
It's the ice cream with the biscuit. And you
Yeah.
eat it, and you
Okay.
eat it.
Yeah, we can do that.
I reckon that'll be fun.
And then
And we can put that on our TikTok as well,
Yes.
and then just post it on the in the work group chat
Yeah, done
for fun.
easily.
Sweet. All right. I think now we can talk about the best movie ever made. It's reimagining it into live action.
It is a very good movie. It is a very good movie.
How to Train Dragon,
Uh-huh.
which the original, the animated version, is my favorite film of all time, tied with The Girl Next Door. So it's a very special movie to me. When I say favorite, that doesn't mean I think it's objectively the best movie ever made. I still think it's objectively like at least an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
I'd say it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I was with bias, definitely a 10. Objectively on its own, I think it is still I wouldn't be mad at someone for giving it a 10. I give it a 10. But it's my favorite movie of all time. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved dragons, and there's only 2 pieces of media that I've ever experienced that I think get dragons right and do dragons correctly, and that's...
I know one of them is How to Train Your Dragon. Let me guess the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, the first one is the How to Train Your Dragon universe, both the 3 films and the 3 shows. I think the lore of How to Train Your Dragon is a very, all of the dragons are really cool. Having them be able to be trained, almost as if they're like a pet, I think is really cool. Having them not be these violent, scary beasts, just be misunderstood, like beautiful creatures that all it takes is one person to see that in them and it can change the whole world. I think that's just a great sentiment. But I also like how throughout How to Train Your Dragon you see that not everyone is always going to agree with that, and no matter how hard you try, there's always going to be people that just want to harm the dragons. And so by the end of the franchise they have to leave.
Yeah.
Because they're too good for humanity. I think that's a beautiful and unfortunately true sentiment. You know, if dragons were real, which
we would probably
were going to discuss maybe next week.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later. But if dragons were real and around, they would probably be taken advantage of and used for bad things.
Or we would all be dead.
Yeah.
Depends what dragon.
Depends what dragons, but... Wait, okay, you're going to try and guess
what
the other ones
okay.
up?
So, just from what I've heard you talk about dragons before, you like it when they're like sentient beings.
Sentient?
Like, who are like smart and stuff.
Well, yeah, I like when they're not just
Animals.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched The Lord of the Rings, so it wouldn't be them, even though they are cool.
They're awesome, but
the
they're also
dragons in
evil.
The Lord of the Rings are cool. Yeah, well, you know.
Another big thing that I always say is I don't like when dragons are evil.
Okay, well...
Like, evil for the sake... Like, in Skyrim...
Skyrim, I was about to say, they have both.
They have one good one.
Yeah, Mario.
And he used to be evil.
Perfect.
And he had a... And I also... What else do I say? I don't like when they can talk.
Bro.
Don't let them speak English. That's not...
No, but they're not speaking English. They're speaking telepathically.
Yeah. Well... In Skyrim, they're just speaking their own language, right? But because you're dragonborn,
yeah,
you can understand them.
Alright, let me...
In The Witcher, they can turn into humans.
Yeah.
See, I don't like that. That's stupid.
You've watched Avatar, right?
Like The Last Airbender?
There's like a dragon in Avatar, isn't there?
There's 2 dragons in Avatar.
That wouldn't be it.
They're like Chinese... I don't like dragons that don't have wings.
Have you read Eragon?
I've read the first one in primary school, but it's not
I'm running out of dragon media too.
Dude.
Games of Thrones.
Wings of Fire. Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. How did Tech Guy get it before you?
That flew over me.
Yeah, literally. I love the way that the dragons are done.
But they're not fucking smart. Or like...
No,
they're not good either.
They are good.
Not really.
I mean, no, but the thing with Game of Thrones is
they're like horses.
They're evil in the sense that the person who's commanding them is evil.
I guess, yeah.
I like I like Drogon at the end, how he melts the throne and he carries Daenerys away. But the main thing I like about the way Game of Thrones does dragons is like the wonder of them. Like when anyone sees a dragon, like one of my favorite scenes in all of Game of Thrones is the scene with Tyrion and Jorah in the boat going through Old Valyria, and Tyrion's like spouting some nonsense about how like there's no point like having hope or faith or like the world's an ugly place, and he's saying all this stuff that rings true to his character because all his experience is just whatever. And then like out of nowhere they just pan up and Drogon just flies above them because he's been missing for like 2.5 seasons.
Yeah,
and then he just flies above them and he just stares. He's not able to form words. I just think that's a great representation of how seeing a dragon would actually feel. And then he has the scene where he takes the collars off them as well later in the season, where he takes the collars off the 2 other dragons whose names I'm not going to pretend that I remember.
Boggy and Bogger.
It's like one of them's named after Viserys. It's like Viserion. Viserion, and I wouldn't be able to tell you what the other one is. And then he takes the collars off, and it's a really nice scene because he says, "When I was a kid, all I ever wanted was a dragon," and then he talks about how like the ones that were being born were small and deformed and nobody wanted them, and he said that wouldn't matter to him because they're just like him, and a small dragon to him would still be extremely large, and I just thought that was a really nice scene.
The dragons in Game of Thrones are good.
And I haven't read the books, but I'm assuming they're done at least as well or even better in the book. Actually, I don't even know how characterized they are in the books.
I never got up to the dragons in the
know.
books, so I don't know.
I'd be interested to
I
find
do
out.
want to read the...
And House of the Dragon, which I think still counts as Game of Thrones, I
Yeah.
think that they do the dragons incredible, especially in season 2 with like some lady, I can't remember her name, but she monologues about how the dragons like are able to sense, with Rhaenyra, the oldest dragon alive bowed to her not because it was commanded, but because it could just tell that she was the one true queen of Westeros. And this thing, like, I just like the way that the dragons in Game of Thrones are, like, they almost seem like, this is going to be maybe a weird comparison, but they almost seem like religious figures in that world to me, where it's they're so elusive, and it's almost like when like an angel coming down, I guess, for some of it. And there's also just like when Daemon says, what does he say? Dreams didn't make us kings, dragons did. Like that's so fire. Dragons are so cool. But yeah, I love dragons. I love How to Train Your Dragon, and I really loved this live action remake.
Mm-hmm. What would you like between the animated and the live action? Which one would you like rather put on?
The animated.
Yeah,
I would rather put on the animated. When the sequels for the live action movie come out, that'll probably test it a bit.
We'll talk about the sequels later.
Because we should preface, like, as much as we both did really like this live action
I really
remake,
liked it.
it is just a remake.
It is like pretty much shot for shot. They take some scenes out.
They
add a little bit.
They add
That
lines
one
of
match
dialogue here and there,
That
and
one-
the fun editing choices in different places. That was really cool. The director, it's like Dean DeBlue?
Danny DeBois or something like that. Yeah.
Sorry, he also directed the original Lilo and Stitch, and he directed the original How to Train Your Dragon trilogy as well. And this was his first time ever directing a live action film,
Which is pretty good.
yeah, and I just have massive amounts of respect to DreamWorks and Universal for letting him do that.
Yeah.
For letting him keep it. Because I think like, if we think about other live action remakes, we've only really gotten Disney ones, right?
Yeah, and
There
most of them are
haven't been-
kind of just bad.
I would say all of them are bad except for one, which
Which
to
is?
me is The Jungle Book. I
haven't seen the Jungle
I
Book.
really like the live action Jungle Book because
What
it's
other
not a
live-action
direct
have they
it's not a direct remake of the animated Jungle Book, because
Yeah.
the whole point of the Jungle Book is it's meant to be different every single time. And so Jon Favreau did a really good job with that. I
No,
think.
the Jungle Book is the only Disney thing that I don't know because it's not in Kingdom Hearts. So I don't
Really?
know. Yeah,
I
it's
feel
not
like that would
Kingdom
make a
Hearts.
great Kingdom Hearts.
Tarzan's
film.
in Kingdom Hearts.
You know Tarzan is actually the son of Elsa's parents from
That's
Frozen?
like theories.
No,
We're
no,
talking
it was
about that in
confirmed by the
conspiracy
creators.
theories. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Would you? Well, okay, so when they announced the live action and like the casting, what was your first reaction to the cast?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah?
I thought, well, the only ones I really cared about was Stoic, Hiccup, Astrid, and Gobba.
yeah.
Everyone else, I was like, they can be whoever.
I only
because-
cared about Hiccup and Astrid because those are the only people
Just
that I
quick, like, we might have spoken about this last week, but people that said they were mad that Nico Parker played
No,
Astrid
we didn't, but we have spoken
Because
about
of-
it off.
because of the race thing.
So stupid.
Is because like people are out here crying like it's not realistic
It's not
for
easy. In the
a
Dragon movie.
black woman to be playing a Viking. Like, okay, sorry that your dragon movie isn't realistic
and also
enough.
in the movie, Stoic is like going up to these people of different races, saying like, "Oh, your people came from this
They
land."
justify it
Yeah.
in the film, which I don't think they needed to
No,
do.
it's not that
but
hard
it's-
to believe that. Like,
Yeah,
the,
and it's like
by some circumstance.
the original movie. Even if you take the like, since when were Vikings Scottish?
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
like
why
that-
does Hiccup have an American accent?
Why
I
does
don't
Hiccup?
fucking know.
Yeah, and then he becomes more Canadian by the third
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
Canada didn't even exist. Like,
Yeah, I know it's so
it's
dumb.
such a
People
stupid-
they don't actually care about consistency
see
unless it's like a woke consistency. Then they don't
my
care.
like only reserve with Nico Parker being cast was when the first official trailer actually came out, not the teaser. The first trailer that had dialogue and stuff in that, I felt like her line delivery felt a bit awkward purely from that trailer. In the actual movie, she does perfectly
I really
fine,
liked
and
her
I
in
had
the
no,
honestly.
I didn't have an issue with any of the performances except Gobba. I didn't have an issue with it.
No, it just didn't feel like
I
Boba.
just wish, it just felt like Nick Frost.
Yeah,
I just wish it was he should remain Scottish.
Yeah. It's weird though. I feel like I still prefer Hiccup from the animated, but I might prefer the live action Astrid, or at least for the first movie.
Astrid doesn't really get a lot of characterization until the
Second and third
movies and the
Yeah.
shows.
So right now, I think I prefer the live action Astrid and the animated.
I've
Hiccup.
always been like Astrid. She's a gold digger. Like she only liked Hiccup once he got toothless. Like,
Dragon. Yeah.
Come on now.
Gold digger, man. It's not good.
She gold digger. But yeah, I quite liked all of the performances. I really, is it Gerard or Gerald?
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
He was good.
He's stoic.
He's stoic,
He's
yeah.
just stoic, and he does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke last week about how we really hope that, at least my biggest hope was use the knowledge you have from the future of the franchise to make things incidental in this first film, give characters proper motivations, because in the first animated film, Stoic just hates dragons. The Vikings all just hate dragons.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in
the second movie, you find out
It's
they
because
believe a dragon killed Stoic's
Yeah.
wife, and they mention that.
They do, yeah. When
They
Hiccup and
mention
Astrid
it
are
a
flying,
handful
Hiccup's
of times.
like, oh, they took my...
Stoic yells, he's like, they took your mother from you.
Yeah.
And then Hiccup yells at one time as well.
Yeah. So they are using lore from the
Yeah.
other movies to add context to this
Which is
one.
good. I
is
just
good.
wish they did it a bit better.
It is kind of
I would have preferred a whole scene about it.
yeah.
Than just like not a whole scene, but like more than just a line. They took your mother from you. Like
maybe
if they could have spent time really establishing how much Stoic loved Velka, I think her name is.
true, but then in the second movie they'd have to rehash that again, right?
No, because in the
Or at
second
least then it would
movie,
be set up in the first
like
one.
he just has that beautiful line where he's like, "You're as beautiful as the day I lost you," and then they're kind of like just back to being husband and wife.
Yeah.
So it's like they could have set up like Stoic saying like I don't know. They could have just done something like he says himself in the diner scene with Gobba, like he gets his stubbornness from his mother. They could have easily just thrown in a line like she was always so much better with him than I was. But then also in the second movie she died when Hiccup was a baby, so he never even knew her.
Does Hiccup have the scar on his chin in the live action? I don't
Yes,
know. Maybe
he
it's
had
there,
the
but you
scar.
can't see it.
I saw the scar.
Oh, okay.
And I kept thinking like, why does he have a scar on his chin? And then I remembered
Yeah, that's how she recognizes it.
recognizes him.
Yeah, I honestly, the thing with the mom, right? Even in the animated ones, I don't know if I like the fact that Hiccup gets his his predetermined like empathy for dragons from her. I kind of like, because from the first one it's just implied that Hiccup is just the only guy ever to be like, well, why are we fighting these people or these dragons? I don't know. I kind of like Hiccup being the only one to, because then that also elevates the fact that Toothless is the final Night Fury. Like he's the only one of his kind, and he's also the only dragon to have not killed a human straight up.
Yeah.
Like they were one of the same.
Implied to
Like
not
they,
have killed
yeah,
a human.
like they were
straight
they were like two people, like of different tribes, but they had the same value that caused this chain reaction of these two tribes coming together. But in the second one, they kind of retcon it where it's like, no, the mum also felt this way.
But they don't directly say like Hiccup only felt this way because he.
Well,
had that
no,
connection
I
to
mean
his
that
mother.
wouldn't make any sense because he didn't
Wouldn't.
know his mum. But Velka having that as well makes Hiccup's like specialness less special. It's not bad. It's not like doesn't ruin it. I think I would just prefer if they went a I mean, but they kind of couldn't go a different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Velka has so much aura.
Yeah, she is
Like,
cool. She
Velka's
is cool.
such a
I
good-
struggle to see a way that you could have done her without her having be like a dragon person.
But the thing I always get mad about is like in the first, and again, this isn't something that they could have predicted, but it's like the first movie set up that all Vikings hate dragons, but then in the second and third movie, you establish these Vikings that control dragons, that have dragon minions and cause havoc. Like, so they already have the knowledge that dragons can easily be manipulated, and they're not considering that. With
Unless
these dragons
maybe
attacking their
they just
village.
didn't know about these tribes and like them.
No,
being...
but it's literally established in the second film that Drago Bloodborne or whatever his name is, he comes to Burke.
Oh
No, there's like a meeting with all the great chiefs of
well then that's
their
dumb.
archipelago or whatever they're in,
Yeah.
and he walks in with two dragons under his control, and he says, "If you don't bow to me, we'll send dragons to destroy your village. And then they don't bow, and then that same night, their village gets attacked by dragons for the first time.
Ah.
Well, I don't know if it's the first time, but it's like a really, really bad attack.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of dumb.
That's when Hiccup's mum runs away.
Huh.
But again, they couldn't have predicted. That's what I'm saying. They couldn't have predicted that was the path they were going to go down.
Yeah.
Making the first movie. Now
they
that they
could
have the foresight,
But they didn't. But
They
then how would
could've-
they change it though? I feel like the simplicity of it just being like, no, we don't
no,
like
because
dragons.
because Hiccup now is controlling a dragon, right? Or
Yeah.
controlling. Stoic might see it as that, and just have a line about like we've encountered people that think they can control the dragons in the past, and all it's ever used for is destruction. All they know is destruction. You can't have a dragon not be in its true nature, and then like have it be about Toothless has to prove that he's not his true nature for the better.
Yeah.
In the same way that Hiccup has to prove that not being
A Viking.
his true nature of a Viking is
is
for
better.
the better as well.
Yeah.
Could
that
sync
could
it up like that a bit.
That could work.
But I guess in terms of like major positives for the film, and then we'll get into some nitpicks that I have personally. The
major-
CGI, special effects,
Oh, perfect.
was so good.
Yes, I
especially in
never
this
saw
day and
anything
age with like special effects that can be a bit lackluster sometimes,
Yeah.
especially with like MCU projects and stuff like that.
I never saw anything that looked fake.
No.
Or like
Like, obviously the dragons aren't real, but
Yeah.
they look great. The only thing, and this isn't like a upset with or anything, it's just a wonder of mine. They kept the like cartoony animated like child-esque design of Toothless, but all the other dragons they
Look
tried to
realer?
make them look a bit more real.
Yeah, I think because Toothless is so important that you have to find them cute. That like if you took away that, it'd be weird.
Yeah, but the other dragons aren't like, for example, so the Deadly Natters, Stormfly, look like chickens, big chickens. They've
Yeah.
got the big eyes and the beaky looky
Yeah.
thing, and all the dragons have underbites in the original, and they
Yeah.
took away the underbites of all of them.
Mm.
I think the Monstrous Nightmare was my least. Oh, the Gronkle was pretty ugly, to be honest. I didn't like the Gronkle very much.
Mm.
Do you know which one the Gronkle is?
Yeah, the big fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gronkle is pretty ugly. The Monstrous Nightmare might have been my least favorite design, just because it's so like, it just feels like a big, bulky dragon, which it's not. It's meant to be slim and
Slim.
like tender, and it's got that big crocodile mouth and those giant
Yeah.
horns. It's such a good.
I think my only criticism about the dragon design was that I felt like Toothless was a little bit less emotive in this one than in the
Yeah.
animated. But I guess because it is like, but it's like he's animated.
Yeah.
It's live action, but he's animated. You could just have him be,
More.
and this is like a very very tiny nitpick, but the scene where they're bonding for the first time when Hiccup like smiles, it's like less like stated that he's smiling. So when Toothless does like the when he tries to
smile
mimic it,
Yeah.
you
can't
would miss
tell.
that if you don't know what that scene's trying to replicate. You would miss that Toothless is just replicating what he's doing.
Replicating the smile.
Because in the anime, I don't know.
Because in the animated, he does like a big.
big smile and
goofy
then holding
smile.
it for a while, whereas in the live action he's kind of just like half smiling and then
Yeah.
Toothless just
It's like a smirk more in the live
yeah
action.
yeah. It's not a yeah.
It's not a horrible like
because
we've seen the original. It doesn't change it for us.
You never see Toothless fucking standing on two legs. He does that when they're bonding for the first time.
You see him sit on two legs,
and
you
then
never
he
see
like
him walk.
drags
Yeah.
himself. He never walks on two legs. That's like the fucking best thing about Toothless, that he can walk on two legs. They took it away.
But all of that stuff kind of happens in the second and third movie. They start making those choices,
Yeah,
which it's like, why?
you could have
Like you developed Toothless, you made him more emotive. You made
Yeah.
him way more like, and maybe it's meant to be a comment as like the more domesticated he
becomes
the
more like
he
a-
becomes more like
yeah.
a pet.
yeah.
And you could argue that, and I wouldn't like discredit someone for
Nah, I
saying
wouldn't
that's the
discredit
reason, but at the same time, like he's got the ability to go on his hind leg. I mean, but I guess he doesn't have a reason to
Yeah.
as a dragon. Like in his mind,
it's
like,
just
why-
it's literally just to make him
we
look
want to see it.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say. Big positives. I think the first half of the test flight scene was really good, or first flight, whatever. It's the first time they go
test
on the
drive,
flight.
right?
Test drive, yeah. That first half of that was really good. We'll get when we
Into
get
the
to the
second,
nitpicks,
yeah.
we'll talk about the second half.
The music, like overall,
Is really good. Yeah,
but it's just the same.
it's the
as
same. It's just one of the best.
It is one of the best
soundtracks
scores in
of all time, yeah.
anything ever.
I think the whole Red Death sequence from start to finish was amazing. I didn't
Yeah.
have a single like we have the nitpick of he doesn't get the idea
From
of how to
the
take
scene,
down
'cause
the
they
Red
cut-
Death, so he
apparent-
kind of
well-
just comes up with... Yeah, no, they said they filmed it,
and it's
and they
gonna
took it
do
out
in
for
scenes.
pacing issues for
Yeah.
some reason. But
Yeah.
it's like, it's not a pacing issue, it sets
It's
up
setting up
how
how to.
Hiccup can see that and keep
Yeah.
that in mind for later.
Yeah.
But other than that, the whole Red Death thing was just
It was
amazing.
very good. I like how they made him like fucking huge. Like he's huge in the animator,
yeah.
but he
It's a
felt
woman.
huge. Like he's fucking breaking through
She,
mountain.
the Red
She?
Death's a woman, yeah.
Oh well, my bad. They are breaking through like mountains and stuff. It's very good. That's a very good.
Oh, it's great. She
Scene.
is huge. She looks so cool.
She is
She's
cool.
big. I like how they get Snotlout to actually be on top of the Red Death
Yeah,
to
and then
show
he starts
his scale
hitting the fucking eye.
compared to her.
Yeah,
Like it's great. The way that they use, like, I don't know what the word would be, but using humans to show how big everything else is really
Yeah.
cool.
perspective.
Perspective, yes. I really liked as well. This is just something so simple, but it's like watching the animated film. You kind of forget that like Burke is on an island, and where Toothless is just a part of that island in the woods.
Mm.
And I really like how they show like a drone shot of this
Establish
massive
situation.
island,
Yeah,
and it kind of just makes you real. Like you can see Burke, and then you see the rest of it, and you kind of makes you like, damn, this island is fucking huge.
It is huge.
Like it's a really good sense of just where they are.
Yeah,
Makes you really feel it,
yeah.
which I liked a lot.
What else? What, any more positives?
Everything, the whole movie.
Well, yeah, but like
the
glaring positives.
I would have. This is. I can't think of any more like glaring amazing positives. Like
I don't think so either. I mean,
Gerard Butler's acting was great.
the emotional moments still landed, but like
Yeah.
it's just because it's from the
It's
original.
the original beats, yeah.
The acting was very good overall.
Yep.
I think the side characters like Snotlout and this is kind of getting into
Fishlegs and-
nitpicks and stuff, but I think the side characters weren't as fun to watch as in the original for me.
Fair enough.
Um,
I've seen a lot of people really like Snotlout.
yeah,
I didn't really care for any of the side characters. I think my least favorite was probably Fishlegs.
yeah,
He felt way too forced.
and he also just like had a New Zealand accent for like a lot of the time. Like he just
Which,
slipped
look,
out.
I love Julian Dennison.
He's cool, yeah.
Hunt for the Wilder People
Yeah,
is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
He's a great comedic actor.
Uh-huh. Deadpool 2.
Didn't do a great job as Fishlegs.
Didn't really feel like Fishlegs.
Didn't feel like Fishlegs. I wouldn't say any of the side characters felt like the side characters.
No, except for the boy twin.
Yeah,
I think he felt the most like
Tough Nut.
Tough Nut.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it's Tough Nut or Rough Nut. I think it's Tough Nut.
I think it is Tough Nut.
But
I think Tough Nut felt the most like the animated counterpart. Everyone else was like take it or leave it. I don't hate them, but I also don't like them.
yeah,
enough to really care about them.
I'm not fussed that they're going to be back for the next films.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they'll be better.
Yeah, probably.
They get more to do in the second
They
and
do.
third
They
film.
do get a bigger.
I like
bigger role.
Snotlout sing with his dad. That was
That was a
fun
good
thing
change.
over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
over again. I like they made the twins older, and they had like that passing comment of, "Aren't you guys a bit too old for this?"
Mm-hmm.
That was a good like justification for why they looked a bit older. That was funny. When it comes to nitpicks, I guess my biggest nitpick would be with the music change in Test Drive.
Yeah.
We spoke about this a little bit yesterday,
Yeah.
last night, where the song they play in Test Drive is different, because I think the whole Test Drive scene is a bit longer in the
It is
CGI, in the live
in
action,
the live action.
but it's the same theme. Like it's not.
It pretty
A
much is
different
beat for
theme.
beat up until Hiccup
Yeah.
starts falling. I
So-
do like that choir bit though, as he's falling. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool.
I like that they changed, because in the animated, I don't think he comes off toothless for as long. Like they're not like catapulting to the floor
Yeah.
like they are in the animated one. Oh, sorry, in the live
Live
action
action.
one. And I liked the scale and like it looked really good. Like
Yeah, it
it
did.
looked amazing. And I've
Yeah.
seen the behind the scenes of it as well, and they did practical like wire work for it
yeah.
with like a big fan blowing in his face and
All
blue
of
screen
that,
all
like
around
up until when when Hiccup gets back on Toothless, that is
Yeah.
all good to me. Perfect, even
it. I think the
it's
climax
after that.
of Test Drive.
is anticlimactic for me.
Yeah.
Like because in the animated, like Hiccup gets back on and then he spreads his wings and then the music like fucking
It
kicks
starts
in.
sprawling.
But
and
in the live action, it just doesn't do that. It like
Yeah. it kind of it hits its climax. They don't commit because of like in the animated film, Hiccup commits to I need to stop looking at the sheet and I just need to lock in.
Yeah.
Because they're about to crash into the trees and
Whereas
just die.
in
The live action,
he just
he
kind of
decides to commit because he's just looking at it and he's like, I don't need this.
Yeah,
and
you don't see him like
he doesn't
you don't
make a
see
split-second
you don't see
decision.
the cognition in his head.
Yeah.
Which is, because in the anime you also see Toothless lock in as well because
Yeah.
he's scared. He's like fucking screaming.
And then when he
and then
feels
when Hiccup throws the thing and he just starts doing shit, Toothless just
Toothless locks in, it's like,
it's so good. It's so
It's
good.
amazing.
And they took out the fucking when Toothless is celebrating and he shoots the fucking fireball.
And then it hits
And then it
Hiccup
hits-
in the face. And
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sad they took that out.
Because
I wonder how because like the opening flying scene in the second movie is like
that is hectic.
so good.
I wanted the dude change nothing. I think that the
Yeah.
actor for Hiccup will look really cool in that
In
armor.
that suit, yeah.
Because also he's aged up in the movies, and
Yeah.
the actor's only 17, right?
Yeah, so I think they'll start production for the second one next year.
Comes out in
probably.
2027,
Yeah, so they'll start production next year.
so he'll be like what 19, 18?
Yeah, around then.
As
Which
long
is
as-
the
as long as
same
he
age
can-
that Hiccup is in the.
Yeah, as long
Because
as
he
can
was
grow like a
15
beard.
when they were
15.
filming this movie.
Yeah,
The actor was 15.
and
as well.
Hiccup is 15 in the
Yeah,
original,
which is
as
really
well.
good. So I like that they're actually just letting him age. All
Yeah.
of them are gonna look older, which is good.
Yeah,
That's
I
the-
want him to have like some type of stubble. Because I
He
know
doesn't get stubble till the last movie.
No, I swear he's got stubble under his chin. Even in the first one, he's got
Oh,
stubble.
yeah, under the yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought you meant like all across.
I want him to look visibly older. Like obviously he gets to do haircut and shit.
Yeah, he gets the little.
He gets a glob.
the
He
rat
gets
tail,
the braid.
Jedi braid that Astrid does for him.
Yeah, it's that I'm very excited for. I'm honestly more excited for How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action than I
Yeah.
was for this one. But
Because the second one, the spectacle.
it's
is
way
just-
more cinematic.
The second one is my favorite of the three.
I think so too.
I think the first. I don't know if I think the first one's the best. I said I have objectively thought it's the best, but I really think the second. I
Two
think
is
the
really
second
good.
one's really
That
good.
scene with Toothless challenging the Alpha,
Mm.
like to protect Hiccup, like that in live action could go so hard.
It could.
If they
And
do it
when
right.
Toothless gets his accessories, when he gets the spine.
Yeah, and then he starts
Tags and the-
jumping around and going under the snow. And I like his relationship with Valka's dragon.
Cloud
He's like the
jumper.
annoying little brother. Like he always like fucking. He's like looking like, oh look at me, I got this fucking.
And then back to music, a nitpick I was telling you about is there's a scene where with Stoics talking to all the Vikings right outside the Red Death's
Yes.
cave, and the main theme, like the like that's playing as he's delivering the speech, and I didn't like that because that theme is really only plays when someone is experiencing the wonder of dragons, and it's playing in a scene where
It's
they're
just
talking about
Vikings
killing
talking about
dragons.
dragons, yeah.
So I didn't like.
It should have been playing like the Viking. theme
Yeah,
in
the
there.
Viking theme would have been like a more cinematic, like triumphant version of the opening. This is Burke, like the
Yeah.
like that would have been cool, like a big like opera-esque kind of blow.
Yeah, it's like as disjointed as if they were like playing like Hiccup and Astrid's like romance theme in a scene where Hiccup and like fucking Stoic are talking.
Yeah.
Like that
doesn't
wouldn't
make
make any sense. So it doesn't make sense to have them.
Another missed opportunity. They should have had more dragons. They only had the original 5, so the
Yeah.
Night Fury, Monstrous Nightmare, Deadly Nada, the Gronkle, and the Hideous Zippleback. Obviously, they had the Red Death as well. And I'm pretty sure I saw a Skrill in...
Do they have the little ones?
Yeah, the Terrible Terror, sorry. So the original 6. So they got the original Terror. They've got the underwater dragons in that one scene, but you don't get to see them. You just see their fins, which...
Yes, I remember that.
There was an opportunity there to show them, which they should
Honestly,
have done.
Bro, if they wanted to go crazy, you could. I mean, maybe it would have been cheaper. You could have had like in one scene, maybe where like fucking Toothless is like going back to the nest. You could have had like Valka and her dragon like just somewhere deep in the distance, like
Yeah.
in the clouds.
You could have had a cloud jumper at least.
Yeah, like something like fucking, to show that like it's the first movie, but we know about
I know
the
what's
other ones.
going on, yeah. Or have her like staff be visible. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Cause you don't even need to see it because what she does in the animated movie is she comes up through the clouds because she's standing on it.
And
But you could have the inverse of her hanging because she hangs from his mouth with the staff. You could have just had her like gliding underneath the cloud and just in the background. You're like, what's that? And
Yeah.
People who know, and kids who don't would be like, what's that?
What the fuck
Oh
is
my
that? Yeah.
God. In the scene where they have the what's it called? the Book of Dragons,
Mm.
I was very like, why is the book so
Yeah,
big?
yeah. And there's
In
only
that,
like 5
it's just
dragons.
a normal
yeah.
book, and I thought it would have been cool if, I know it's cool, like it's cool to see the actual artwork in live action and the actual hand drawn photos of it.
They took out that one line where it's like the Night
Yeah.
Fury. If you
If you see one, pray and hide, it doesn't find you.
yeah,
Something
pray
like
and hide, it doesn't find you.
Hide
and pray, it doesn't find you. Yeah. That's just a
that.
fucking.
Hide it.
Bro, the description of the Night Fury, like they make the Night
The
Fury sound so
unholy
fucking
offspring
sick.
of life
And death itself. It's so cool. Never hunts. Never
Never kills, or
never
shows its.
never shows itself. Never hunts.
Never takes sheep.
Never takes
Or
yeah,
whatever.
sheep.
Never takes food.
Never takes food and never misses. That's such a
The
like the Night
unholy
Fury is so
offspring
cool.
of life and death itself. If you see this dragon, do not approach it. If you hear this dragon,
Hide and pray doesn't
do
find
not.
you.
No, it's like if you see this dragon, do not engage. If you hear this dragon, do not engage. If this dragon sees you, hide and pray, it doesn't find you. I think it's something like that.
Yeah. Which I mean, like, are they
Which
capping?
Is no, because I think what that implies, and what I've always said they should have done for the third movie, is that the Night Furies were genuinely like menaces. Like they were the most aggressive, like violent.
Yeah, like the Vikings, and that's
Like
why
the
Toothless is so
Vikings.
special.
And that's why
because he's
because
not.
he
He's
breaks
just a
form.
sweetheart.
So for the third movie, instead of this stupid Light Fury, instead of this stupid hidden world, they should have had it just be. I know people want him to be the last one. They should have just had it be Night Furies, and they have to like fight Night Furies. That I
Maybe,
think that would.
but like
cool.
the Night Furies are like fucking insanely strong when they're older.
Well,
aren't
yeah,
they?
well, they're
don't they grow
titanlings.
like really,
Well,
really tall?
I don't. It hasn't been confirmed by like
seen
actual DreamWorks.
Yeah, I've
but
seen like
from fan art and
looks
like
hectic.
from what you would take from the books, which in the books, which are completely different to the movies.
Yeah, Toothless is like a
Toothless
small
is
green dragon.
essentially a terrible terror. But as he gets older, he's actually revealed to be essentially like a god serpent from the water,
Ah.
and he has the ability to speak and
That's cool.
communicate.
I would not
with
hear
humans.
Toothless speak.
'Cause
What
he
would his
becomes-
voice sound like? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, in a book, that's the thing. You don't have to know what his voice sounds like. You just got to
what
read the
voice
words.
actor would do Toothless? Seth Rogen?
Ben Starr.
Yes, I'd take that. Fucking
Um,
Troy Baker in Joel's voice.
I'm trying to think if I had any. One like really nitpicky is in the opening like assault on Burke
Yeah.
when he kept saying like the dragon that nobody's ever seen, and then it cuts to the Viking screaming Night Fury.
Mm.
The scream wasn't as good. He doesn't scream it like that
Yeah.
guy in the animated movie does.
Yeah.
In the animated movie, it's like,
like
full
fucking
of terror
scary, yeah.
and like he's trying to let everyone know. It's just like Night Fury.
Yeah.
Like he's just letting people
But
like
But can I just say, I love the sound of that. You know that like pitching sound.
like
is
the
it,
whistle as it gets higher.
Is it him charging up his breath or is it him gliding?
I think it's a mixture. I think it's the
Breath, right?
breath.
Yeah, because
it's getting so
love
hot.
that sound.
It's like a kettle.
Yeah,
starting to
I
boil.
love that. Bro, the Night Furies are fucking sick.
Yeah,
Because
so
even
cool.
when in the final fight, when this is in both versions, like when Hiccup he's like, alright, let's do this, and then they glide down, and you hear the fucking sound, like it's so cool.
because he's charging up,
Yeah.
turn around and psh.
And I fucking love the way the Night Furies attack. It's
Sound design
hectic.
is amazing.
Could you imagine if in hundreds of years ago when they all existed? Could you imagine 7 of those around you?
Bro,
Fucking-
they would have been hectic.
That'd be terrifying.
It
but-
would have been so cool.
Yeah, no, the Night Furies just got aura, bro.
When it comes to the second film, for casting, his mother should be played by Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
voice actress.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington. I don't know if he's too old to play Eret though. He also doesn't really look like Eret.
Does he look? He doesn't look that old though.
Eret has a big nose and like a pointy face, and his skin's a bit fairer.
You could have fucking, I don't know, anyone. Look, they've done a good job with the casting so far.
Yeah, they have. They have. I trust them to.
So
keep
I
it.
would trust them to
I think
keep it.
Drago, like the villain.
Jason Momoa.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Jason
I thought about
Momoa
this
would do a good job.
Because he wanted to be Lobo, right?
Yeah, Jason Momoa. I was thinking Dave Bautista, but he's
Yeah?
slimmed down now. He's not as bulky.
Yeah, I reckon Jason Momoa could do a pretty interesting.
Because well, that character is so like unrealistically wide and thick.
Yeah.
Like it would be hard to get someone with those proportions.
Yeah.
I would say chuck him in a bodysuit, like
Yeah.
even to get it, like get him even bigger.
Well, is fucking Gerard Butler in a bodysuit for this one, or is he just like got?
I think he's just got padding on his armor.
Probably, yeah. What about the villain for How to Train Your Dragon 3? That skinny guy.
Matthew Lillard. I think Matthew Lillard would do. He looks like.
I was
him, and
thinking
he's got the
Peter
craziness.
Capaldi. He kind of looks like Peter Capaldi.
I love Peter Capaldi. He's my second.
Like if
favorite
you
Doctor.
put a side by side of the guy from How to Train Your Dragon 3 and Peter Capaldi, they
Yeah.
look the same. I don't know.
I don't know if the
Be
Scottish
alive?
voice would search it.
Yeah, true.
Be alive. He's
Yeah.
not that old.
How
He's
old
like
is he? Bro, he was old in Doctor Who. Wasn't that like fucking
might
50
be,
years
like-
ago?
approaching 80 now. Actually, I don't know.
Damn.
He's 11.
Elevate.
Oh, his nipples.
What's wrong with my nipples, bro?
Guys, Liam's nipples are showing.
My
through
nipples
his,
are showing.
his tank.
It's alright.
Um,
I'm
Peter
lactating.
Capaldi's
I'm
a
lactating
decent-
today.
a decent suggestion. I think Matthew Lillard would do good.
Yeah.
He's got the slim like the personality for it.
Mm. Well, his like whole motivation was like, oh, I killed a dragon when I was young and they liked it, so now I vowed to kill every dragon or
No,
something
no.
like that.
It
Hunt
was
every
Night
dragon.
Furies,
Night
specifically Night
Fury,
Furies.
Fury,
He's dubbed the one that wiped out the Night Furies,
Yeah.
which I don't like. I don't like that you're saying this one man
killed all of them.
Killed
'Cause
every
aren't they meant to be,
single
like
Night
the strongest Night Furies.
with his poison like mutated like no.
Yeah, that is.
Sorry, no. The third movie as a whole is just like
I like the
why?
ending.
Yeah, the ending. It's the only realist like. You have
I like
to
the
have
ending
that
in the beginning. I just don't like the middle.
I
I
don't
think
like
that's how I would describe it.
the Light Fury. She's a fucking whore. She can go
Yeah,
and
the Light
fucking
Fury.
die.
The Light
Like-
Fury is bad.
Because the Light Fury is a different species, or like you just introduced another new
Species.
elusive species. Like, why not just have it be a Night Fury? Like,
I don't know. I like.
I know you
I
like,
like
him
that
being
Toothless is the
last
only
of his
one.
kind.
And especially if Hiccup wasn't the only one.
But that
Yeah.
means Night Furies are extinct now.
Yeah.
Like,
Let them be extinct.
no,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Let them be extinct.
In
The
my
s-
headcanon, there's still some out there.
Or like in a like so like
There doesn't have to be thousands of them, but there's a couple. Like,
maybe I don't know. I kind of like the fact that like Hiccup and Toothless are the last of their kind. Because like after they
Hiccup's
bridge-
not the last.
Yes,
of
he
his
is
kind,
though. After they bridge that gap, the Vikings kind of don't be Vikings anymore. They're
Yeah,
just,
but
like,
the
settlers.
Vikings in Burke aren't Vikings anymore. There's probably
Yeah.
Vikings other places that are
Maybe
still Vikings.
Maybe, but
Not maybe.
like, you
They're
don't
not the
see
only
them.
Vikings in the
They
world.
could be.
And he's still human.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of... Like, look at real life. Vikings stopped existing without dragons being
Yeah, no,
real.
I know, but this is
So there's
this
no
is,
point
This is
giving
How to
it...
Train Your Dragon. No, this is like not real life. So I'm saying that in this universe, maybe they're the reason that Vikings stopped existing
Nah.
because they, stopped fighting.
I would have preferred, like... Toothless... Because, like, Toothless leaves Hiccup to be with a girl.
Yeah,
That doesn't make... I don't like that.
yeah,
I would have preferred if Toothless left Hiccup because they both mutually agreed that they
like,
needed to be
they're
with
both
their...
the leaders of their tribes.
Yeah.
and they need to choose what's best for their tribe and not for
Yeah.
themselves. Like
Because
their
he-
responsibility to
Toothless
their
had to... Not Toothless, sorry. Hiccup had to accept that he was chief now,
yeah,
and that means his responsibility is no longer to
Toothless.
It's
They
to
both
his people.
they both have to choose their responsibility
And
over
Toothless
their
had
bond.
to pick his responsibility to being the alpha of the dragons over...
Yeah, which is a good mirror
Yeah.
of the first movie.
And he
where
does.
they're
He is
rejecting
still the king of the dragons, like, in the hidden world.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
yeah, and at the end, I think it's very convenient that they're just chilling at the entrance to the hidden
Yeah,
world
and
at
how
the
the
end of
fuck
first
does
movie.
who Hiccup find it again? Like he probably just knew, right?
I think he just based off memory, good sailor. And then
It's not really hidden then, is it?
Mm.
I mean,
I
Just
liked
find
that the final interaction between Toothless and Hiccup, where it's like a mirror of the way that he pounces on him. But it's like it's only been at most like 15, 20 years.
yeah,
Like it hasn't been that long. Toothless shouldn't have forgotten what Hiccup looks like.
yeah. Unless
and
he's just
smells
got bad
like.
eyesight or something, but like
Maybe.
I don't know. I like yeah.
And that reaction also makes me wonder, like, have other humans found the hidden world before Hiccup went back? And that's why
maybe, or
Toothless
maybe
is
it's just been
adverse
so
to it?
long since he's seen a human that like he's just a bit wary.
Very rare, maybe. But I also like that it mirrors the first time
Mm.
Toothless pounces on him in the first movie.
Yeah, and even when they're saying goodbye, like they reverse. Like
Yeah.
when Hiccup is doing that, they reverse that, like he's pulling away.
Yeah.
I've always wondered after the end of that that movie when they're flying, do they just like agree to like they go back and then they just don't see each other again, or do they just stay together from now on?
Do you want me to tell you? Because the director of the third movie has said what happens.
Yeah,
afterwards.
tell me.
He says that's the last time they see each other.
Really?
Yeah, Hiccup never goes back. He just
Wow.
wanted to see him one last time and let his kids meet him, and,
That's sad.
and then he never goes back,
That's sad.
which I think is stupid.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? Like,
Or at least don't tell everyone. Like you can, as
Yeah.
a director, you can
you
fucking
can just let
assume
people
that.
wonder. You can let people have fun. But then they made that sequel show on Netflix that takes place like a million years later with like a random
Yeah,
kid
what
and
is
he
it called?
finds a
Like
descendant.
fucking Ragnarok or
It's
something?
it's called like the Nine Realms. And
Yeah,
it's
yes,
a
it is called the
descendant
Nine
of
Hiccup.
Hiccup meets a descendant of
Toothless.
Toothless, and they bond, and it's not good.
Which is so... Isn't it like set in the 2010s or something?
Man, it's just set in modern day.
That's so dumb.
It's really
That's
stupid.
really dumb.
It's like it annoyed me. I would love to see now that they're doing DreamWorks is. We just want to talk about DreamWorks for a second. They're revamping the way they animate. Like
Yeah.
Puss in Boots the last. Well, it started with the bad guys, then that sort of evolved into Puss in Boots the Last Wish.
Is
which-
unbelievably good.
Yeah, like just we'll talk for hours if we keep talking about how good it is. But
Yeah.
just from a pure animation standpoint, The Last Wish looks so good.
Yeah.
And like obviously the Spider-Verse inspiration is there, but it's also it's got
It's got
these
its own
like
spice.
painted
Yeah.
lines. Did that come out before or after Across? That came out after, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Bad Guys 2, the animation looks great. The Wild Robot for
The movie that had
we-
50 fucking different
endings.
endings.
Yeah, we'll
Oh
tell
my
that story
God.
one day.
Yeah,
But that movie is animated beautifully as well.
Yeah, it is a good looking.
That
movie.
is a gorgeous film.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a reanimated How to Train Your Dragon story in like a
That-
more like sharp like Spider-Verse style animation. I
Yeah.
think would be really really cool.
Yeah.
Because there's like this game called How to Train Your Dragon: The Journey. It's only available in China. It's a mobile game. But the announcement trailer for that, I'll show you that after this because it's animated so
Is it
beautifully.
not out yet?
No, it's only out in China.
Ah.
But it's like Ghibli, like anime-ish.
Yes.
But it's so Hiccup looks like a senpai. Like, I don't like that. But it's a really cool animated like sequence. So I'll show you that after so you
Okay.
can see what I mean.
Yeah,
That's
that-
really cool. What time are we on? No, not what the time. What's that on?
52.
52.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's
If you
a-
want to wrap up, if
Yeah,
there's anything else.
I don't think there's anything else about. I mean, overall, very
Watch the
good
movie. It's
Watch the
worth
movie.
it. It's definitely.
Just throw it in
worth it.
IMAX though. Don't waste your
Don't
money.
waste
And then watch all the other ones.
They didn't put the song in the credits.
Yeah,
like
I'm
they
so
always
scared that
do.
they're not gonna have it in the opening.
They should.
Hopefully.
I don't-
Well, in 2 years we'll find out, and
Yeah.
we'll do a podcast ranting about it like we did the last time season
And
2.
we'll have Mason Thames and
Nico
Nico
Parker.
Parker on the pod. I'd rather sit next to Hiccup.
Nah. Probably smells bad, bro. Like he's got fucking dragon licking him and shit.
Yeah.
Dragon spit?
Let me ride Toothless, bro.
Okay. All right.
Let me ride Toothless.
With that, we're gonna end it here.
Yep. Next week we will be talking about. We don't know yet. We'll figure
No, we're
something
gonna figure it out.
Wait, is there any movies out right now that we can go watch?
No, but we will make something up.
There's probably a horror movie out there
Yeah,
somewhere that we
probably.
could watch.
Even
and
then,
talk
we'll
about.
just fucking find topics.
Are there any
Welcome to the
games? Any games that I could play and we could talk about?
Life is Strange 2!
No, not
Guys,
happening.
can you 7 likes for Griffin to play Life is Strange 2?
7. We're not going to hit 7.
7 likes.
You're just going to make 7 accounts.
7 likes.
No
7
one
likes,
like
please.
it.
7 likes.
What's the date next? 25th is the next week, Wednesday.
Oh my god, Death Stranding 2 comes out next week.
Yeah?
I can play that.
We're kind of yapping through this outro. We'll
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
something
We'll
out.
talk about
You'll see
it
what
later.
it is. Also, look out for, within the next 2 weeks, hopefully, we're going to release our first actual video that's not a podcast. It's just going to be a YouTube video. Us and some friends are going to be discussing and then ranking different conspiracy theories
Yes.
on a tier list. So if you have any conspiracy theories, no matter how outrageous or weird to talk about they'll be, drop them in the comments, shoot us a DM on Instagram. We're going to put a suggestion box on our Instagram that you can reply to with what you want us to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So look out for that. speaking of Instagram, follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
Here's the thing. .etp. You'll see it in the
ETP.
description below.
Eat that pussy.
Subscribe on YouTube. Ali did.
That
Subscribe on YouTube.
was a pullback.
Like the video. Drop a comment. Check out our other stuff. We will see you next week.
Yes.
Adios.